Oh boy, today's video might be, I guess you could say, controversial. It's about the black scary objects. Ooh. Now, of course, word on safety. I am not a trained safety person, so you should take everything I say with a grain of salt and realize I'm not a professional, and you should consult a professional if you want actual advice. Other than that, a word on safety. Yes, I know how to handle a gun. Yes, it is empty. And I know not to leave it in, rack it, have a bullet in there, and say, oh, well, I want to take a bullet out, so then I rack it and take out my magazine. Well, now I just loaded another bullet in there. Anyway, after all that, you can see it is still empty. So I think we can get underway to what I was going to do. I guess you could say today's video is about cleaning and disassembly of this gun, which is Taurus Millennium G2. Now, of course, make sure, don't be stupid, make sure there ain't a bullet in there. Now there's a flange on either side of the gun, one here, one right there. You want to pull it back just a little, pull them both down, and with no bullets in it, pull the trigger, and that'll bring this forward. And you can take the receiver, slap that down there, you can take your recoil spring out, and then you can take your barrel out and put your slide up there. Now, as for cleaning your receiver, I don't really think there's much you need to do for cleaning. You maybe take like an air compressor, blow it out. If you're so inclined, maybe take a rag, a lint-free rag, and get some of the gunpowder residue out, but I don't think most people do that. I think what most people do with this is they just put a little bit of oil right back here, and I think we don't want to mess with this because we'll get that with the slide, so we want to set that aside now. Recoil spring, of course you don't do much with this as long as it's still functioning right. With your barrel, and you probably want to wipe it off, get any residue. And you're going to want to put some oil. You see where these rub marks are? You want to make sure you get some oil right there. And probably along the barrel a little bit. You want to get up here where it goes through the slide. This in focus, you kind of want to get your oil up there. You also want to get your oil in here. This is what will stop your slide. It rubs all up in here, and that should be good. Now for this, some people put a little dab of oil back in there. That's where your firing pin is. It's your firing pin. Some people put a little dab down there. Let that go in there. Make sure that goes smooth. Maybe like right here on this extractor, but we're not going to worry about that. And then you just want to take a little drop and go down the sides of this rail here, because that's where your slide meets your frame, and you don't want that wearing out, so that'll be a pain. And you want to sit this up like that so it'll all run down. Of course, I'm not going to worry about that right now, and we'll get back to putting it back together in a second. Quick side note that I forgot to mention is with your barrel, you take a wire brush and go up in here and make sure your rifling is nice and clean and clear of debris. I don't think you're supposed to oil the inside of your barrel, but I could be wrong. Of course, I'm not a professional. If you want to learn something right, always consult a professional. not somebody, like me who's just messing around. But there you go. I think that's just about serviceable to put this back together. And as for reassembly, it's pretty simple. Take your slide, slap your barrel up in here, make sure that's seated. Your spring, set that back up. Take this receiver, slide it in carefully, function check it, and of course no bullets in it. And everything's working as it should. So I guess that's it. Have a nice day.